everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and today I thought I would share with you what I'm going to do with some base pages. So I have quite a stack of them already ready to go, so to speak. Some of them have placements for photos already, and others are a little more generic, like something like this, where I don't have a predefined area. And so what I did was I went through all of these and picked out a few that I thought would work with some photos that needed to be documented. And let me show you my starting point. So I had a couple photos of a really good friend of mine, and I thought it would be good to scrapbook those. And so I pulled this base page, and I thought this photo here would work really well with it. The scale is a little bit off with the mat, but I think if I add another piece of cardstock behind here, I can make that work. And really that page is just about done. I maybe just will do a little bit of journaling, or maybe a little bit of journaling down here, and that one will be done. For the other one, I pulled this base page, and again, I thought this would work really well as well. Again, the proportions are just off a little bit, but I think I can play with that and make that work. I also had these 4 photos of my niece. I think she's 13, 14, 15, and 16 years old. And I thought, oh, maybe there's something I could do to scrapbook these. And when I was flipping through, I saw this layout, and I thought, well, maybe that will work if I pull in a few other photos of her. And if I look, this should mat really great doubled up on here. So then I just needed an additional 5 more photos. So I went through my pictures and I found some more photos to add. So again, that should be a pretty quick layout, and then maybe just do some journaling. When I was flipping through the pages and I saw this layout, I immediately thought of my niece, a different niece, and I knew that I had this photo taken last fall of her. And so I think once I trim this down and place it on the layout, that should do the trick as well. And I probably won't do a whole lot of journaling other than just add her name and the date, because really all the stickers and embellishments support what it is that I want to say. Seeing I was on a roll with that Simple Stories collection, I also had this layout done. This was from a class actually. And I thought, well, maybe there's some other group of photos of another one of my nieces that I could apply. And sure enough, I have some of this one. And I just printed the photos to fit the size. Again, probably just do a little bit of journaling, not a whole lot. And then that will be that layout. What's nice about these ones with the prescribed photos and all the embellishments on already, I mean, they are literally going to be like 5 minutes. It probably will have taken me longer to pull photos than anything else. I also had a few layouts designed around travel. This one features, I believe this was a Chamel collection. And I thought this would be really great to do a highlights of my cruise down in South America in 2019. So I'm working on that album as a separate album, but I do like to put a highlight or a 2-page spread in my chronological album just to make note of it, and so that's what I'm going to use this for. I did go through all the stops that we made on the trip and try and find photos for each one of those, and it ended up that I had to double up, so 3x4 photos, so that I could add them like so. So basically every stop's going to be represented, and then there's a photo of me and my friend, and I will add a little bit of journaling. Again, not a ton because I'm doing a whole separate album on this. Well, these 2 pages were not necessarily designed to be a 2-page spread. They do have the crossover of the blue paper, so I think I can make it into a 2-page spread. And so again, this is going to be another highlights. This is going to be another highlight layout of a trip I made to California, where I now live, in 2010. So it was a precursor to me moving there. So I'm going to add the 4x4 photo, and then this little photo here, title, etc. And then I have some 3x4 photos that I'm going to play around with on this side. It'll probably be something very similar to this, and then just some embellishments as well, and then this one will be done. When I saw this layout in my stash, I knew right away that I of course needed a fall or a Thanksgiving photo, and I had these two pictures of my nephew eating Thanksgiving. Well, it's not really Thanksgiving dinner. We had more a Thanksgiving appetizer meal, and I like the color of his shirts reflected in some of these leaves. The gingham just kind of goes, which is kind of funny. So this may get matted. I'm not sure yet. Definitely will need a title, and I don't know if I'm going to embellish it a whole lot because of all the acetate pieces that frame this. I had already printed these two pictures of my niece. She's got balloon hair, at least that's what I'm calling it. It's so staticky from playing with the balloons. This particular base page popped out mainly because of the yellow, with the yellow and the blue, and then of course the matching color of her shirt. And really this could go just about anywhere. Add a title and a few embellishments, and this one will be done. For this base page, I'm pairing it up with a couple photos of my niece opening a gift for her birthday. It will probably go something like that with a title up here and maybe some journaling. I might shift it over a little bit, but generally that's my thought, is that these are going to go here somewhere. So this base page is really happy. It doesn't scream boy or girl. And I had some photos of my nephew's birthday party, and I had already printed these thinking I was going to do a different layout, but when I saw this base page, I knew that it would work really well. And so what I'm thinking of doing in this case is just taking these photos and laying them along the diagonal. Again, I'm not sure on the exact placement of which is going where, but literally something to this effect. And I have one extra photo, so I may trim one of these down and swap them out. Like, this one niece is featured quite prominently in all the photos. I don't think I need to have her in all of them, so what I will probably do is substitute one of these out for this photo of my other niece. And then probably just add a title and a little bit of journaling and some embellishments, and we will call this one done too. So that's a good stack that I am going to work on, and I'm going to go finish those up, and I will be back to show you the end results. Okay, so I'm all done. I'm going to show you what I did. Some of them are literally just slap a photo, add some journaling, and they're done. Like, it took me 5 minutes. Here's another one. Same idea, slap a photo, did some journaling, and we're calling it done. Here's another layout. This one I literally only added the photo. That's it. Didn't add any journaling other than her name and the date, because all the embellishments say what I want to say about this photo to my niece. So this one I didn't think I was going to add any more embellishments, and I came across these leaf wood veneers in my stash, and I thought, well, why not? So I went with more of a column design, and I really like how this one turned out. It's kind of busy, but it's still kind of fun. If you'll remember this one here, I just started off with the strips of paper. I added the title. I had some chipboard that had the balloons, so I just pulled everything from the sticker sheet. And I had these puffy hearts that I thought would work as well. They kind of look like balloons in my, you know, if you squint kind of thing. And then I just added a few enamel dots to complete the visual triangle. Now we're moving on to the 2-page spreads. This one was another layout that was pretty much done with all the spots for photos prescribed. Well, of course I added the photos, and then I typed up the names of the locations using my typewriter and added some journaling here at the bottom, as well as the title, which is literally just South America, with the subtitle See the World. And we're calling this one done. This is another 2-page layout that had spaces for photos predefined. I really like how this one turned out. It's amazing to me how I had no plan for this particular layout, but yet the photos work perfectly with her little black dress on compared to the black elements in the paper, with the aqua / mint colored book that ties in with the background. I just love how it turned out. I added the journaling in this little bubble here. I thought about adding it elsewhere, but decided that that would be too distracting. So just adding it in the circle is how I approach that. Here's another layout with, again, prescribed photo spots. I love how this one turned out too. I mean, who knew that these portraits would actually fit perfectly in these? Again, no plan. It had a pretty big spot for journaling, which I clearly had no problems filling it in, and I really like how this one turned out. So this particular two-page layout was not intended to be a two-page layout. They were intended to be two separate 12 by 12 single page designs, but I'm trying to make them connected using the same pattern across the two. I also used these photo corners to kind of make it look like it's one, even though the main pattern paper is not the same. I did use stickers across both to help tie that in, and overall I think it turned out okay. Here's another layout that I'm completely floored with how it turned out. So the papers were left over from a kit from Queen & Company, and they literally were just 6 by 6 square blocks on a diagonal. And I had recently purchased these balloons from Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance, and look at how perfect they match the paper. Like, you could not get any better than this. So I really like how this one turned out. I'm not so sure if I like the loose little balloon strings hanging over the photos. I tried to add a little bit of adhesive to kind of keep them somewhat positioned. You know, it's one of those things. I tried it, you know, I'm not sure I love it, but it's okay. I focused the embellishments along the top and then the title to balance it across the bottom. And the last layout is a single page layout. This one was very simple as well. I had these really sweet birthday stickers of these animals. Again, it was a recent purchase from Hobby Lobby, and I just liked the way the colors had that kind of soft pastel that kind of went with this heart paper. These puffy stickers were already out because I had used them on a different layout, so I used them together to make the title, and then just tucked the journaling up at the top, and we're calling this one done too. I'm a huge fan of using base pages. I like having a bunch of pre-started pages so that when I'm ready to scrapbook, I don't have to start from scratch. Sometimes that's the mood that I'm in, and I like that it gives me the opportunity to use up my scraps at the time that I'm using them. And so I don't have a bunch of that sitting around. So those are the main reasons why I do base pages. And of course, when I am ready to scrapbook a bunch of photos, I can knock out a number of layouts in the matter of a couple hours. So that is it for today, my friends. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, happy crafting.